So I'm gonna call out Mr. I've written here, so I have to squint. Ninja ONC, Power Cell Freak. Sorry.
God, I feel like an ass. So, I'm a fan of both these guys' work, and I do remember seeing these videos from these guys be uploaded when they did, but I just never got around to watching them. It was a pretty busy time in my life. I was finishing up high school and shit like that. The idea is that Michael from Nerd Rage made a video discussing a topic and tagged a bunch of others to make a video with their thoughts on it to make a sort of video chain, which he tagged Keith from Zenobyte, who tagged me. This was like a year and a half ago. I'd like to say that I've been working on this video ever since to be the best video ever where I give my exact and precise thoughts as I possibly could, but it's like 5 in the morning as I write this and I only just found out while I was wasting time playing Kingdom Hearts listening to YouTube and just happened to be skimming through some of Keith's older videos. So here it is. I guess I gotta tag some people now. I don't really know anyone online really, but I'll tag hsblue, Boomer, and I don't know, the fucking gaming Brit show I guess. Let's hope they don't do the same thing I did. Just a heads up, you should probably watch Keith's and Michael's videos before this one, just so you know what the fuck is going on. So I kind of want to take a different approach to this. There was a point in my life where I wanted to create games for a living. Having grown up playing a lot of games, especially the Jack games, I wanted to create these sorts of worlds for myself. Things have changed a lot since I was 11, but creating worlds is still something I want to do. Because, you know, I really love the craft of storytelling. So yeah, I'm using my laptop camera. I don't really do this very often. I'm obviously not at my house. Just ignore all the passing cars and everything and the terrible lighting. I'm also reading a script on my laptop so I know what the fuck I'm saying, but yeah, let's just get into this. So if you don't want to hear anything about like the games I came up with like as a kid and shit, and you just want to hear like what my ideal game is, just skip to this time code here, or wherever I choose to put it. Anyway, there are 3 game ideas that I've given extensive thought to over my life. One was an original idea which was completely ripping off the Jack games. One was one I can't really explain without context, and one is my ideas for Jack 4, which I won't cover in this video because I'll probably do its own video at some point soon. I'm not really sure when, but after I've gone over like the games I've already had a lot of thought with over the years, I'll give my thoughts on my ideal game, like, you know, I'm supposed to be doing in this video. Alright, so I'm gonna start with this game idea that I came up with, fuck, I was 11 maybe? No, I was 10. I was 10. That's when I really knew, like, I wanted to make games for a living. And I was obviously very fucking inspired by Jack and Daxter, because, like, alright, so I've got these 2 books and folders full of my ideas and drawings that I did when I was really young, of this game idea that I wanted to do. So it's really interesting. What should I look at first? Okay, I won't look at this. All right, so okay, so the name of the game was Marv and Bax. Obviously, you know, like Jack and Daxter, what their name's gonna be, they're gonna be made up names as well, or at least like, you know, it was called Marv and Bax. Yeah, so this was the very first drawing I did. I'll probably, maybe I'll scan these or just take better photos of them, but this is the very first drawing I did of these characters. So like this one here is Marv, that's Bax there with the black hair. That's Marv with the red hair. They had hoverboards. There was like the bad guy. It was like he was the mechanical leader. He was called. It's pretty much like a cyborg fucking Baron Praxis, really. Here is Marv with using his special power, his gold powers, as opposed to, you know, his dark powers. Jesus Christ. Okay, this is going great. Let's see. So yep, I started drawing the cover art for it. PlayStation 4, because, you know, I thought, you know, I'd be in uni by the time, I don't fucking know. I thought I'd be like, because I wanted to go to uni and study game design and shit and make my own games. I didn't know how the fuck it worked. I just knew like I had to be good at maths and go to uni and shit. But yeah, I predicted that, you know, by the time I go to uni, the PS4 will be, you know, the current console. But, I mean, I'm not gonna go to uni anymore, but like, if I was to go to uni last year when I finished high school, you know, PS5's on its way in, so it wouldn't have been on PlayStation 4. I don't know why I even bothered trying to explain that, you know, a fucking 10-year-old could figure that out. Anyway, what do we got? Okay, so here is all the missions that I was writing for this first game. So, you can pause and read these if you want, if you can read them. But, I'll just go over a couple. So, break out of prison. He was so Marv, the main character you play as, he was going to be sent to prison for illegal hoverboard usage or some shit like that. And you'd have to break out, just exactly like in Jak 2. And then you'd run into Bax, who, I don't know, he just ends up being friends with him. Then you fight off some guards. Yeah, so this world is essentially Haven City. It's like exactly the same. It's run by like a evil dude, and he's got like, you know, his imperialistic forces. Anyway, so you'd fight some guards, you steal weapons, fight more guards, find out about gold power. So this was like, you'd go to someone like the Oracle in Jak 2 in the slums, and you know, Marv would have his gold powers, so like he'd turn into Gold Marv, and like he'd have all these cool powers. Then you'd collect money, and then you'd buy the first Gold Marv power. So like, I didn't really think this through very well, because like, when I say collect money, what immediately came to mind was the collecting money for crew mission in Jak 2. Anyway, break into HQ, find main computer, hack the system, find out about Defense League. The Defense League is essentially the underground. I don't know what this HQ is. I think, yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure it's like this city's equivalent to the palace, or maybe the fortress, maybe. But yeah, it's got all the information about shit. Escape HQ, find Defense League. Okay, so then they gotta test you to see if you're worthy to join the ranks. So you have to do pass a racing test, pass a fighting test, pass a weapons test. Go outside the city and turn the power back on. You know, just like in Jak 2, you know, leaving the city was a bad thing. And you'd have to fucking turn the water back on in Jak 2. Well, here you gotta turn the power back on, because, you know. Then you'd have to be forced to collect money to buy the second Gold Marv power. Oh my god. Okay, so this next one. Make iron ore delivery, as opposed to eco ore. Lovely. Pass the first gun course. Defeat guards infiltrating gun course. I never finished the missions for this first game. Break into HQ again. Blow up missiles, just like the blowing up the ammo dump in Jak 2. Escape prison, again, I assume you got arrested again. Find way back to city. Maybe like they got thrown out, you gotta, I'm not really sure. Find energy components for city gate. So I'd assume there's like a gate for the city, and there was no power for it, so you'd have to fucking turn it back on, maybe? I don't know. Fight guards. Climb abandoned tower to find energy crystal. So like, just like the ruined tower in Dead Town. Defeat energy infused outsider. So this was an actual idea I started having for the game. So like, oh, actually no, not really. Oh my god. So I was pretty much ripping off Infamous at this point, I think. No, I wouldn't have. I didn't play Infamous till I was like 13. Maybe not. But I had an idea that like, there would be like people on the outside of the city, and they were like corrupted or infused with like energy or something, and they'd have powers as well, but they'd be like, you know, fucked up in the head. They wouldn't know what the hell's going on or anything. But yeah, that's all the missions I got for the first game. I'm going more in depth in this than I was planning to, but okay, so oh god. Alright, so here's my Gold Marv powers. So here is the life bar, the circle, that's your life bar, and then that little thing in there is the gold gauge. So like, when you fill up with the gold gauge, you can turn into gold Marv. Yeah, does it sound familiar? So he's got 4 powers, of course he does. Power 1 is Gold Bomb. don't need to tell you what that is. You already fucking know. Power 2 is time freeze. It's just like the light power in Jak 3. Power 3 is gold gun. So what I assumed I'm pretty sure in my head it was you would your guns would be powered up with like a gold power and they'd do a lot more damage or something. That's I'm pretty sure that was the idea. And then power 4 is invisibility. Just like Dark Jak. Here is another box art concept. You know, only for PlayStation systems. So like up there it says PS4 question mark. Yeah, that's the box art. Okay, so here we've got the weapons. So I really was shit with the weapons in all these games. But yeah, so here we've got another thing I should mention. For somehow I was gonna have it like a co-op game where like one of you would play as Marv, one of you would play as Bax. Because obviously Bax can't be on Marv's shoulder because they're both fucking human. So like I was gonna have it so like he'd be an AI partner throughout the game, and you could play co-op. The only thing is like Marv is the one who's got all the powers and shit, whereas Bax is like he's got nothing. He's a you know, he's a little bitch boy. And I kind of fucked him over with the weapons because like they don't have this. Marv and Bax don't have the same weapons exactly. They've got like some different ones. But like Bax's, I remember for the second game of this, I'll get to that in a sec, but like he had really powerful weapons, but they had fuck all ammo. So yeah, so Marv's gun was this little, so they both got this little bomb launcher thing. So it was like, it's this tube, right? So like you'd hold it like this and you'd pull back on it to like eject a bomb out the front or some shit like that. Then you've got Marv's primary gun, this blade launcher thing. So like he'd hold it like this and like squeeze there. Yeah, he'd hold it like this and squeeze there to like discs, like blades would fly out, like the chopper in Ratchet & Clank 2. And Bax's weapon is that same bomb thing, and then this gun, which was based on a Nerf gun ripoff thing that I had. I don't know what it shot out. I assume just bullets. Oh no, here we go. Wait, okay, so I've got like these sticky notes here. So like that's a better like drawing of the gun, but it says it needs to be longer. But it shoots explosive discs. You know, sort of like that, but like with fuck all ammo. It's only got 50 as opposed to 200. Anyway, let's move on to the next game. So this is Marv & Bax 2. So we've got Bax has some hover boots, Marv's on his hoverboard, and oh, what's this? Is that light jack? Ooh. So, and what's this setting? Like, where are they? So, like, okay. I'm surprised I even remember all this, to be honest. I'll probably skip that page. So, like, the second game was going to take place in, like, a space station. Like, I don't know how the first game ended. It was weird, because I went really in-depth with the second game, but I never really got around to finishing what the first game was going to be about or anything like that. But the first game probably ended... So it did end... The first game ended with them killing the mechanical leader. You know, the bad dude. They would have killed him, or at least defeated him. I don't fucking know. But I don't know. For however it happens, at the end of... I don't know if at the end of the first game, but like... At some point, Marv and Bax get sent up to this space station. And it's sort of like a similar city up there. But I think it's worse maybe up there. But they're in a space station and no one's like allowed to leave or anything. So we've got this page here, just characters. Marv, Bax, Angela, Hood. Okay, I should probably explain a couple of these. So Marv and Bax, Angela, who was a character that you would meet, but the plot twist is she is the daughter of the mechanical leader. Oh, you mean like Ashlyn? Hood, which is a terrible name. So, like, Hood was Angela's father in the game, but the plot twist with him is that he's Angela's fake dad that's a robot built by the mechanical leader. Yep. And then the rest is just enemy types, I think. Yeah. And then we've got... Okay, then we've got Gold Marv's Palsium, but then we've got Silver Marv. You know, like Light Jack. And here's the like health bar and shit. So, you know, circles just like Jack 3 when you got 2 forms. So like, you know, your light and your dark, your gold and your silver. So Silver Marv's powers are super speed, invisibility, invincibility, and flying. So I don't know why both things needed invisibility. This is kind of stupid. Okay, so missions. This one is like a lot less stuff happens in this. Because like, here's the missions, right? Fight the guards, go to weapons shop, fight more guards, go to Angela's dad, fight more guards, break out of prison, save Angela, collect money, buy the weapons and hoverboards, find teleporter in the middle of town, teleport to the other side of the space station, break into guards HQ, find handheld teleporter, blow up HQ, teleport back to Hood, collect more money, buy Silver Marv Power 1, find program chip to Earth, teleport to Earth, find ruins of old HQ, find gun upgrades, teleport back to space station, collect more money, buy upgrades for hoverboards and rocket boots, escape from guards, go down to sewers, find switch to blow up prison, get out of sewers, collect money, buy Silver Marv Power 2, take power test, fight guards, go to Angela, win race for gun upgrades, take gun course 1, win hoverboard / rocket boots race, fight more guards, find fortress, save Angela and Hood, fight new guards, teleport to main controls in fortress, find key, defeat mechanical project, which was like a big mech robot thing, use key to destroy main controls, teleport back to Hood, collect more money, buy Silver Marv Power 3, take gun course 2, fight guards in mech suits, use mech suits to fight guards in hover cars. Yep. Hijack hover cars to reach Hood, collect money, buy Silver Marv Power 4, fly over to Angela, defeat Angela, get to Hood, defeat Hood, teleport to Earth, teleport to Mech Leader. So Mech Leader's dead, but like they wanted to like go to his corpse to see if he was still there or whatever. But he was gone. Oh, plot twist. Maybe he's not dead. I didn't really follow through with that. Teleport back to space station, fight guards, save back. So I assume he got kidnapped. Get people into escape hatches, get to teleporter in the middle of town, teleport to Earth. I assume like they blow up the space station or some shit. Win race 2, break into new HQ, defeat guards, get to main controls, defeat final cyber guard. So, you know, I had 70 missions planned out for this game. Except when I say missions, I mean like everything you do in it. Like, you know, collect money or go to this person is a mission instead of like you go to this person and they give you a mission. Yes. Anyway, so here's the weapons. Got a bit more this time. Sort of. Alright, so both of them still have that rocket launcher thing. Or the bomb launcher thing. Still got the disc blade thing. And here's a picture of the blade. But in this game, you could attach the two weapons to get both of them and fire at the same time sort of thing. And you'd also have this electricity blade gun. I don't know what it was with blade guns. And then with backs, you've got the same thing. Then you got a bomb gun that shoots like a massive bomb. And then like a bigger version of the thing. But they both have fuck all ammo. Like the bomb one has 3 ammo. And this one has 5. This one has 10. But Bax's weapons have 10, 250. Like, come on. It's so fucking dumb. Anyway, I think that's all for 2. Yep. And then... Alright, we're nearly done. Okay, now... We've got just some pictures of Marv that I drew. So, here's just him. Here's him in his gold form. But, oh, what's this orange stuff on him? Oh, it can't be, you know, like, the armor of Mar? Like, fucking come on. So, like, if that doesn't scream to you, you know, Jack and Daxter OC, I don't know what does. Yeah, he was essentially just Jack, but... I mean, he's even got the fucking goatee and everything, like, come on. And the racing goggles, like, what character wears racing goggles? And the strap around it, I mean, I actually kind of like this picture, it looks pretty good, but like, come on, he's a total rip-off of Jack. Yeah, this was my... It wasn't this specific folder, it was a Spider-Man 3 folder that I had, but it was like a binder instead of like a folder. So I transported them all into this. But this was all my ideas for this game series I should have mentioned. These concept drawings, like the armor and everything, that was going to be in the third game, which I didn't really get to develop very far. But that's all the concept ideas and everything. But this book has just some drawings that I used to do. But I used to be really into drawing. I drew a lot of Jak and Daxter stuff. Oh, well, here's a picture of the mechanical leader. Yeah. Even belly button and everything. Here's a really shitty drawing of Marv on a hoverboard. And here is, you know, Marv doing the half dark, half light thing, but, you know, gold and silver. Here's a Jak and Daxter drawing. I drew Jak and Daxter fucking heaps as a kid. And then I've got fucking Marv vs. Jak. Who will win? Oh god. And then another one, like Jak and Daxter versus Marv and Bax. I don't know where you can see that. I think that's about it in this book. Well, I've got fucking like a drawing of like some great characters that I love. So like, I got Jak there, Crash from fucking Crash of the Titans, and Marv. You know, like the iconic trio of platforming legends. Yeah, I got a heap more Jak and Daxter drawings in here. Oh, this one's not bad. That, if you can see that very well. Yeah, I got a heap in here. So I did one for each game. Yes, that's about it. So that's Marv and Bax. That's a concept for a game I came up with as a kid. So none of that was scripted just then. I've been going for 20 minutes already. Fuck me. So none of that was scripted. I didn't write anything for the script for this part. Because I wanted to do it like this, just like off the cuff, explaining my ideas and everything from, you know, my 10-year-old self. But yeah. Let's move on to the next game. Shut up! Let's move on to the next game. So this one's kind of fucking... It's weird, but it's short. And after this, I'll get to the... After I talk about this, just real quick, I'll talk about my ideal game. Okay, so in my country, Australia, we... Oh, no. Oh, wait, never mind. It's okay. It's okay. Alright, so in my country, Australia, we have a milk drink here called Oak. Which is... I was like... Just thinking, like, reading this, I'm like, wait, I should totally have an Oak carton and show you guys what the fuck I'm actually talking about. I'm like, I don't have any. But no, there's some empty ones in this little trash can here. So this is Oak. This is the chocolate one. This magnificence of a drink is terrific. What did I actually write in the script? This magnificence of a beverage, comes in a variety of flavors and is sure to kill hungry, thirsty dead. I swear I'm not endorsed by Oak, though I wish I was. Like, come on, hook me up, Oak. What's hungry, thirsty, you ask? Well, I'll let the god himself explain it.
Are you hungry, thirsty? What's hungry, thirsty, you ask? Stop asking things, I'm talking. Hungry, thirsty is when you are neither hungry nor thirsty, but a bit of both. It's a state of weak indecision where you're not just sitting on the fence, it's sitting on you and it's laughing. That's how weak it is. There is only one cure for hungry, thirsty, and that's Oak. With its full strength and full taste, it's full on. Oak won't just hit the spot, it'll kill the spot and dress inappropriately at the spot's funeral. Oak, kill hungry, thirsty, dead.
So, this next part you need to keep a secret, guys. Can you do that for me? Good. I'm actually part of a religion called the Brotherhood of the Oak. Me and some mates founded it back in the year 113, or for you uneducated folk, 2016. That's about all I can tell you, so let's just talk about this shitty game. So me and a friend who founded this one true religion got into conversations about possibly making a game about the religion. When we first founded it, we decided we needed to irrationally hate a group of people, like every religion. Like, Christians hate gays, so we hated gingers. You know, the beings without souls who can't go into the sunlight. We decided gingers because we had a friend who wasn't even fucking ginger. We just paid him out for it because it was, you know, it was fucking funny as hell. We've since changed, like, in the religion, we've since changed our focus of hate from gingers to hipsters and vegans, because, you know, with gingers you can't fucking control the color of your hair. But with hipsters and vegans, you know, you can control being a massive fuckwit, and you can control your diet and lifestyle, contrary to popular belief. Anyway, back when we were talking about this game, the main antagonist was going to be Donald Trump, the ultimate ginger. We didn't really go too deep into the story of what it could have been. We did discuss setting a little bit, but we discussed gameplay more than anything else, really. The way I envisioned it was like it was kind of medieval setting with, you know, old Trumpy ruling a dictatorship sort of thing. I don't know what my obsession with dictatorships is. So I imagined a lot of greys and browns, and caves and castles and shit like that. Now, gameplay is where I thought this game could have been really interesting. We both love RPGs, so we wanted it to be one. Let me just scroll down my script. But we also thought of incorporating platforming in some way. We just didn't really know how. I should probably put this down. I can't put it down anywhere where it'll stay in frame. Yeah, we want to incorporate platforming in some way. We didn't really know how. I think we may have discussed a grid-based system, probably turn-based, similar to Trails in the Sky. We also talked about skill trees. Now, we were going to be the biggest cunts with this because we were going to make 3 skill trees, right? 2 would be useful, but for separate things, but 1 would be absolutely useless. In fact, the abilities would just make the gameplay worse for you, would just hinder your experience. And, you know, like skill points or whatever we use to equip to get these skills would be, you know, pretty finite. But the real thing was when you made it to the final boss, right? You couldn't defeat him without the final skill that you unlock with the shit skill tree. And okay, so what did I write here? Like, just to make this painting in your head specific. And because we would have had save points, you couldn't just reload a save and invest in the tree beforehand unless you prepared for it. And on top of that, because it was going to be the final boss fortress, you wouldn't be able to leave, you would be locked there until you beat the boss. But you couldn't, because you needed that skill from the shit skill tree that you wouldn't have had, and there would have been no way to get it this late in the game. So you would have spent fucking, I don't know, like 30 hours in this game, get up to the final boss, and then fuck you because you didn't invest in this shitty ass skill tree that would have made the game terrible, like even more so. Then you can't beat the game. Fuck you. Yeah, we were going to be massive cunts. That's about all we got with the game though. I still have like very vague images in my head of what I wanted it to be. But yeah, this is based on this good shit right here. I know it sounds really crap. I wish I could remember more though. Just low key, if you want to know more about the Brotherhood of the Oak, maybe I could make like an induction video, but just have it unlisted so you'd have to ask for the link. Therefore, asking to join the Brotherhood, just let me know. Looking for members. So the third game is Jack 4, which I'm not going to talk about in this video because it deserves its own video. But what I will say is when I was a kid, I would often come up with my own Jak and Daxter stories and stories for Jak 4. Some of which I still remember actually. I might still have them written down somewhere. I may have thrown them out. Just wanted to say that. So I'm going to do what I was supposed to do in the first place, finally. My ideal game. So my favorite genre is platformers, but I also love JRPGs. So I'm a bit similar to Nerd Rage. Although he's played a ton more RPGs than I have. So here's what I want. Let's start with the story or the theme or the setting, because depending on what I want could influence the kind of gameplay that would suit it. I'm also making everything up as I write this. So you know, I'm just reading a script. When I was writing it, I kind of was just, you know, spewing thoughts on a page and be like, oh yeah, that would be cool. But I was doing it as I went along. When I was a lot younger, I used to write my own comic books. I'm not at home right now, so I can't really show you any, but I did. Some were about superheroes, some were about skateboarding, but one that I never got around to making, but did write a bunch of pages of a story for, was a story about rock, paper, scissors being an international sport. I was really inspired by the movie Real Steel. If you haven't seen it, it's basically a boxing movie, but with robots. And the way the movie progresses is they get this really crappy robot to box, enter it in a few fights, and it does really well, to the point where they end up facing, you know, the undefeated world champion. It's this from nothing to something character arc that I really love, and that's basically what I did with my story about rock, paper, scissors. So I would love for this story to follow a similar kind of direction. Not necessarily sport, but just coming from nothing and becoming something. Like a hero from nowhere ending up saving the world sort of deal. I believe this character this character arc is called the hero's journey. Yeah, it's very common, not really anything groundbreaking, but it's something I'd love to see, and have some great characters to meet along the way who would, you know, come along the journey and shit. Now, I do love stories that make me cry. I mean, my favorite fucking game story is 358 Days Over 2. You know, I obviously love crying. Ooh, so edgy. But I don't want the story to be too emotionally based. The story itself doesn't really concern me. I just want to have a fun-ass adventure, you know? I just want it to be a fun story. I also don't want to fall into the trappings of other JRPGs where, like, there's so much dialogue and cutscenes, sometimes unskippable. I want it to be just like Jak and Ratchet and stuff like that, where cutscenes are there to set the scene for the most part and leaving important story sections to themselves instead of stretching them out across the whole game. Yeah, it's just a bit exhausting sometimes when there's a half of hour of cutscenes in between, like, you know, moments of gameplay. Next is... Oh, now that I'm thinking about it, now that I have thought about it and have written it down, I kind of want a Dark Cloud story, but done better with more character interactions. Because, like, I love the story of the first Dark Cloud, and I do love the simplicity, but I really wish that there was more to it, like just a bit more. Like, you've got a total of 6 playable characters along the journey who have backstories and everything for the most part, but after acquiring them, you never see any of the characters speak to each other or interact, and that really sucked, because, like, you know, these are cool characters, and I wanted to see them more fleshed out. So yeah, like a similar story to Dark Cloud, I guess, but with more character interaction. I also want an extremely lore-rich world, but it needs to be handled in a certain way. So I already did the video on this about Jak and Daxter, but what I really love about Jak 1 and Doom 2016, and Eternal, is it handles a lot of the lore building through level design and environments. I want heaps of that, but I also love there to be, like, lore hidden away as, like, collectibles, maybe, similar to Doom 2016 and Eternal. I want the game to have a heap of cool lore, but I don't want it to be too much, I mean, like, you know, front and center. Again, just like Jak and Doom, I want the lore to be, you know, background. Like, it's there if you want to explore this world, if the world intrigues you enough, but I don't want it to be the main focus. Setting, dunno. I wrote here, I'm thinking medieval cyberpunk. That sounds cool, make it happen. I don't know, that sounds cool, doesn't it? Medieval cyberpunk. Alright, gameplay. Here's what I would like. Complex platforming mechanics that rival Jak. They need to be fast, snappy, and responsive, and you need to be dedicated to every move you make, just like Jak. And while I love A Hat in Time, I found the game incredibly easy because the jumping out of a dash is such a safety net for a bad jump. I rarely died at all in A Hat in Time. So yeah, mechanics like Jak. He's a heavy character. Doesn't, like, he still stops on a dime when you let go of the stick. He doesn't, you know, slide. He doesn't take long to get to full momentum. But he still needs to, like, have that heavy feel to him where, like, you know, as soon as you press that button, commit to a move, that move's going. And if you're not facing the right way, like, you know, like the roll jump, if you're not facing the right way, well, you're gone off the fucking edge. You should have committed to that better. So yes, good platforming mechanics is a must. Okay, so I wrote here, I considered that maybe not even have any combat in the game, having it purely puzzle platformer exploration based. And now that I think about it, that would totally be viable. I'd be fine with having a completely combat free game focusing on puzzle platforming, you know, 3D puzzle platforming. Because, you know, since writing this, I've played the Klonoa series, and they don't really have combat. They just have enemies, but you use them to platform. So that's what I really love. One of the things I love about Klonoa. So, you know, having it just puzzle platform exploration based, totally viable. That would be great. But I did write some ideas down here for combat, so I guess we could go into that. I said, but I guess we got to do something to pass the time, so here's what I'd like for the combat. Okay, I'd like a Kingdom Hearts-like combat system, but it isn't just mashing the X button for 30 hours. I would love to have a hack and slash system which uses platforming as its main mechanic. I have no clue how this is going to work, but that's what I want. I want the player to really think while they fight and always be on their toes. Because I love the way they describe Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal's combat as combat chess. You're constantly having to evaluate the situation, what enemies are where, and what strategies you have to employ to deal with them. a sort of combat puzzle. That kind of depth is what I would like to employ in this game's combat system. I would also like the exploration to be semi-open world. Basically, the City of Glass from Mirror's Edge, I thought that was a great idea. So like, it was an open world made up of entirely linear paths that interconnect like a spiderweb. The only problem with Mirror's Edge was that it kind of sucks. Like, the idea was terrific. Great idea. The city itself in the game was a bit too segmented. And there wasn't enough, like, there often seemed like you took a path, you thought it was viable, but then like, you actually like get to the end of the path, maybe like jump from one building to the next or something and realize this doesn't seem intended. Like, this doesn't seem like it was considered when designing this world. I want the world to be very considered, like every approach is viable. So like, you know, you have to be like incredible level design to pull that off. Yes. I also want a lot of collectibles that actually do something. So we've got the lore things, perhaps they can be pages or something like that. But maybe you can level up through collectibles that are hard to achieve, either through extensive exploration or by solving a puzzle. I just want collectibles. Self-explanatory, I guess. The only thing I can see being potentially wrong with collectibles... Actually, never mind, I'll get back to that in a sec. Also, RPG mechanics. I want a level up system. Not a typical earn this much XP to level up, or use this weapon a lot to level it up. No, I want something unique. I'm not sure what. Maybe something to the sphere grid in Final Fantasy X, because I really enjoyed that. And if I remember correctly, that was reliant on items. I'm not really sure, I haven't played that in forever. But I want something that hasn't been done before in a level up system. Something unique which ties into the gameplay nicely. Now what I was saying about the collectibles leveling you up is I was going to say that if you like level up and get stronger through like collectibles and shit, maybe like the gameplay would become unbalanced, because if you spend all your time looking for collectibles and leveling up, then like the game becomes piss easy. But because we're going to have like an actual XP based system, or at least something similar, you know, enemies will level up with you as you go on. So I guess it's not that too big a deal. Not really sure what else I want in gameplay. I want it to be fun as fuck and unique. Most important thing is fun. I want the character to be as satisfying to move around as Jack is, because there is not a single video game character that is more fun to just simply run around as Jack is. His moveset is magnificent. So I had a lot of fun talking about this, and fuck's sake, I'm so sorry this took so long to make, but hey, if I made this video when I was initially tagged, it would have been a lot worse than this one. I've gotten a lot better at this whole YouTube thing since then, and even though this video is really terrible quality, it's still a lot better than it would have been, you know, like a year and a half ago when I wasn't even doing any YouTube. And had, you know, shit equipment and shit editing software and all that crap. So yeah, the people I'm tagging are going to be hsblue, Boomer, and the Gaming Brit Show. Their channels are in the description. You should go subscribe to all three of them regardless. They do great stuff. Also in the description are the links to NodeRage36's original video and Keith's video from Zenobyte, who tagged me in this. Sorry it took so fucking long, my guy. Yeah, so cheers for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. I know this isn't, you know, the sort of normal thing that I'd make, so I probably won't even upload this on my usual Saturdays that I usually do. Maybe it'll be like just a middle of the week thing. So yeah, 2 videos this week. Cool as. Alright, well, cheers for watching, everyone. Bye!